and welcome to TENUN Fashion Week. TENUN is all about handwoven textiles and I am in absolute heaven. We have 3 full days of programs lined up for you, not just displaying the fashion, but also putting a spotlight on the critical discussions surrounding the beautiful world of handweaves. But before we start the presentations, I'd like to invite Maybank's chairman, Dato Sri Tan Sri Zamzam Zarari Muhammad Isa, to share his opening address.
A very warm welcome to Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and thank you for joining us today at this one-of-a-kind event. The TENUN Digital Fashion Week is the first ASEAN-led online fashion show dedicated to textile weaving. Textile weaving is one of the richest and most powerful art forms of Southeast Asia, reflecting the region's diverse heritage and customs of its multicultural communities, as well as the cultural development and interchanges through the centuries. Today, we celebrate the beauty of ASEAN's weaving traditions by showcasing these elaborate fabrics center stage via an international platform. It is with great pleasure that Maybank is hosting this Digital Fashion Week that brings together all these spectacular fabrics for the first time to live audience. By using fashion to shine a light on the intricacies of the textile traditions, it is our hope that this helps sustain the region's weaving community and preserve its rich cultural heritage. In celebrating our shared culture heritage, the TENUN Digital Fashion Week aims to reimagine, reinvent, and reclaim the ancient art of weaving with new vigor and creativity. The relationship between fashion and textile weaving continues to evolve till today, and through this Fashion Week, we are demonstrating the immense potential of Southeast Asia's handwoven textiles. TENUN Digital Fashion Week is a part of Maybank Foundation's Women Eco-Weavers program. The program supports the capacity building and economic empowerment of weavers in ASEAN. To date, Maybank Foundation, which is an ASEAN-accredited organization, has supported more than 1,000 women weavers since 2016, assisting them to build a better future for themselves while staying true to their traditions and also contributing to their economies. We remain committed in finding solutions to sustain the livelihoods of the weavers and help preserve the art of weaving. We also understand the importance of telling the weavers' stories on an international platform. In 2019, the Maybank Women Eco-Weavers program was featured at the Entwine exhibition at the Singapore National Museum. Our weavers had the opportunity to showcase their skills, interact with the public, and other weaving communities. And the exhibition was visited by more than 21,000 visitors. For this event, some 45 weaving communities across ASEAN are participating. Each fashion piece represents its country of origin, feature textile crafted with intricate artistry, and produced on decades-old handlooms. It is my hope that the audience leaves the fashion event feeling proud and determined to protect our weaving traditions. At Maybank, our mission statement is humanizing financial services. And in this respect, we strive to provide easy access to financial services and ensure economic empowerment wherever we operate. Through our Maybank Group's sustainability strategy, as outlined in our M25 plan, we remain steadfast in supporting the weaving communities within ASEAN. Most of the weavers come from impoverished backgrounds and are underappreciated for their crafts. Today, let us celebrate their creativity and art form. I do hope you will enjoy this digital fashion show. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening.
Weaving, an act of two separate threads interlaced at the right angle, a harmony of opposites. But in recent times, this unity is beginning to unravel. To preserve this beautiful tradition of ASEAN, Maybank Foundation realizes the need to approach this in a systematic manner where we analyze the needs and identify the right beneficiaries. The Maybank Women Eco-Weavers program is implemented with specific objectives and goals, building towards a systematic relationship to generate maximum sustainable impact for the weavers and their community. Southeast Asia is home to some of the most diverse and intricate hand-woven fabrics in the world. Weaving has a colorful history in this region marked by wars, trade, and beliefs. The language and artistry of traditional Southeast Asian weaving are as complex and layered, if not more, than those of the weavers. It is through them that we locate our identity as dwellers of the Malay archipelago, both old and new. By preserving the culture and knowledge of our ASEAN community, we preserve a piece of who we are and our identity. This is where Maybank Women Eco-Weavers comes in. The program promotes traditional woven textiles in a sustainable manner for women weavers across the ASEAN region in becoming economically independent whilst advocating financial inclusion. Our program is presently running in 4 countries: Laos, Cambodia, Malaysia, and Indonesia. By the end of the 5-month training period, the women are equipped with weaving skills and a weaving loom is presented upon graduation for them to continue weaving.
បន្ទុកគ្រួសារនៅធ្លាក់លើខ្ញុំទាំងអស់រ៉ាប់រងក្នុងវងគ្រួសារខ្ញុំចាប់ផ្ដើមចូលនៅខែ7 2019 ធនាគារមីបែនបានជួយឲ្យខ្ញុំចេះដឹងបានត្បាញជាលុយពី300ទៅ350ចំណូលក្នុងមួយខែបានខ្ញុំបានត្បាញទៅដល់ផ្ទះបានជួយជីវភាពខ្ញុំធូរធាររីកចម្រើន
Through our strategic partnership, Maybank Foundation is working with local organizations and stakeholders in respective countries to meet country-specific targets and objectives based on unique local contexts.
The Eco-Weaver program allows us to enroll more women than we ever had before. Any woman interested in weaving, they can join the training program and begin their journey of weaving. And today we have the capacity and the chance to have even more women, to underprivileged women, to earn more income.
Designed to be an economic empowerment program, Maybank Women Eco-Weavers operates through the intensive capacity building in all aspects of the weaving value chain, from mulberry farming to microfinance. Above all, the weavers can build a sustainable source of income and keep the family institution intact. The program adopts eco-friendly practices from the use of 100% natural raw materials to pesticide-free farming. Sericulture farmers are also benefiting from our program. The farmers are essential to the weaving cycle since the silkworms only feed on the leaves of mulberry trees. Since our launch in 2016, Maybank Women Eco-Weavers has trained plenty of weavers, supported numerous sericulture farmers, and planted countless mulberry trees. By introducing economic stability into the lives of the weavers, they are breaking generational cycles of hardship. Guided by our mission of humanizing financial services, the program has helped create a lasting positive impact to the communities that we serve.
Thank you, Tan Sri, and it is truly so heartwarming to see the many great works of Maybank in bringing about sustainable change in weaving communities throughout ASEAN through its Maybank Women Eco-Weavers program. Now, before we start with the fashion collections, I wish to advise you that all of the collections you see at TENUN Fashion Week will be judged. There will be 2 jury awards, the TENUN Best Collection and the Lakumas Most Innovative Weaves Awards. There is also a People's Choice Award where the audience, yes, all of you guys, will be able to vote for your favorite collection online. Just head on over to our website, www.tenunfashionweek.com, and follow the instructions over there. And don't forget to cast your votes by the 30th of November, 2021. Now, the label with the most votes gets a prize of 5,000 ringgit and 6 kilograms of Chandimas tencel yarns. And this is brought to you by PT Lakumas, who are the co-developers and manufacturers of tencel yarns in Indonesia. Aligned with the quest to preserve traditional industries, many weaving communities throughout Southeast Asia have committed to keep heritage motifs and textiles alive. These fabrics of ceremonies and celebrations transcend time and today are just as resplendent as they were when their mothers and their grandmothers wove them. This first segment is dedicated to these timeless pieces. As our parents nurture us so that we can develop the strong wings to fly, so similarly must craft artisans receive the support they need so that they too can flourish. The next segment is a hearty discussion about patronage and the woven cloth. We shall hear from the communities themselves, and thereafter we'll play back excerpts of discussions amongst a panel of organizations where we get to learn their missions, their values, and their activities. Enjoy the next segment.
I think we have started to open the young generation eyes of our community, that only them can inherit the tradition of the weaving. So by having external donor support, I think we can reach them directly, give them some insights that weaving is a precious work, weaving it's a cool, it brings their indigenous values to the world, and no one can bring that instead of.
See that in the past 3 years that our production's increased, our member has increased, our training, we're able to do more training and be able to not only train villagers, but also able to train our staff with the funding that we receive from these donors, be able to train our technical staff or building our technical staff's capacity so that we are able to go out and help more and more villages.
Of course, the pandemic has slowed everything down, and through the support of Maybank, we were able to buy up the textiles from the community during the slow period and work with designers to develop them into all sorts of fashion products, and those will be introducing to the market. But also we have been able to help them return to natural dyes, because in this place it's very special that they are still planting all of their own cotton, but they use chemical dyes. So our work is strengthening their cotton production by improving the farming methodology of cotton, and also reintroducing natural dyes to them, so that their ancient culture can move on into the future, contributing to sustainable agriculture, sustainable fashion.
Those who from non-weaver to become a weaving specialist from zero income to earn a sufficient income to support their family and livelihood. Women can earn approximately right now $200 to $300 per month, and this help a lot to make their livelihood better condition and especially support their next generation. Moreover, under Maybank Women Eco-Weaving Program, they also support hundreds of farmers to planting the mulberry tree, providing the technical and the mulberry seed to allow the farmer utilize all the free land surrounding their house to plant the tree and create this income generation as well.
Hi everyone, a very warm welcome to our audience today, to our one of the panel session during our TENUN Fashion Week. Today, the title of our panel session today will be Patronage and the Woven Cloth. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Hilmi. I'm the moderator for today. I represent Maybank Foundation, who is the corporate responsibility arm of Maybank Group. And one of Maybank Foundation's key focus area is to support the weaving communities in ASEAN. And we have a program called Maybank Women Eco-Weavers Program, which is included in this TENUN Fashion Week. First of all, let me introduce the panelists for today. The first is Manjari Nirula. Welcome. or fondly known as Manju. Welcome, Manju. She represents World Craft Council as an international advisor, and also past senior VP of World Craft Council Asia Pacific region, and currently is also the executive board member of Craft Council of India and Delhi Craft Council. Manju brings to us a perspective from outside Southeast Asia. Her breadth of experience includes almost 4 decades of work in the revival of languishing crafts, documentation, and design development. She has curated many international exhibitions and has been involved in senior board position in the Delhi Craft Council, the Craft Council of India, and the World Craft Council Asia Pacific region. Next, we have TENUN, I hope this is correct, fondly known as ON, who is the Chief Technical Officer of FIDR. FIDR is a foundation for international development and relief in Vietnam. FIDR is a Japan-based international NGO established in 1990 with a representative office in Da Nang. Vietnam established in 1998 to work on multiple sectors such as agriculture, tourism, traditional handicraft development in central Vietnam in support of vulnerable communities. One of their missions is to build a society where children in developing countries grow healthily. Last but not least, welcome on. Last but not least, we have Maribel Ong Pin, founder of Hubby. Maribel is the founder of Hubby, the Philippine Textile Council. Hubby's mission is to preserve, promote, and enhance Philippine textiles through education, communication, and research. Using public and private resources, Hubby is aware of the plight of weavers even in remote reaches of the Philippines. So once again, welcome our dear audience to our panel session today. And to start the panel session, I would like to ask On to tell us briefly about FIDR and what it does in its development work with the highland communities.
Thank you very much, Hilmi. So as Mr. Hilmi already made the introduction, FIDR is a Japan-based international NGO, and we do the multiple sectors so to support the people in the central of Vietnam. And one of our mission is that we promote to build a society where the children in developing country can grow healthily. Yeah, but why we select the weaving activity for supporting? So one of our organization mission is the children, but we identify that we have the 3 levels for supporting. So the first is the TIC level, the second household level, and the third is the community level. We believe that if the family and community is better, it also makes the positive impact to the growth of the children. So that's why besides the support directly to the children, we also support the community to be activated and also to maximize their local resources that we call treasures. And why we select the weaving activity for supporting? So it's not our selection, it's the community selection. At first, in our first community development 15 years ago, our project e-design was designed and planned by the outsider and by the supervisor. But when we conduct the final evaluation at the final year of the project, almost the all community requested us to remain the weaving activity. At that time, we are very surprised because the weaving activity was very simple and very small activity in that project, and it was not showing, but why the people selected for the next support. So, and we realized that weaving was not the treasure for the female only, but also the treasure of the community. So that's why they selected for the further development. So our FIDR decided to support the weaving activity become the bigger project. and we recognize that. So the activity that's selected by the community is run very well and can make a big impact to the other sector, other component, and also to the community development. So from that time, so on of the FIDI support, basically based on the selection of the community, based on the design of the community. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, On. Yes, in any areas that we wanted to support, we need to know what the community wants, and indeed addressing what the community requires. Next, I would like to bring your attention to Maribel. Maribel, my question would be, why should patrons consider the support of weaving communities and their textile traditions? And by way of supporting the weaving communities, what do you think is most effective, financial or any other support? Over to you, Maribel.
Well, I think patronizing indigenous fabrics in the Philippines is a way of understanding our identity, of having pride in it. That's for the general public. But for the weavers, it is a way of giving them a status in society that is very important because, you know, they are rural women and they are part of the rural economy. And if you help their craft, you're helping the weaving economy and you're empowering women. So that is important. That's nation building as far as we're concerned through craft. Okay. And what your other question is, what form of support? The form of support would be basically marketing, meaning giving them the opportunity to sell and to earn, which is of course financial, but it is a process. There is also another part where finances help. For example, when a weaving center suddenly gets destroyed by a calamity, you know that we have a number of typhoons in this country which are very destructive. And last year, we had 2 destructive typhoons that destroyed a weaving center, an important weaving center in Catanduanes, which is on an island on the eastern part of the Philippines, which now Habi is trying to help to put together a building. We have a possibility, but we will need funds to make that possibility a reality. Okay, this is a weaving community that weaves abaca. Abaca is one of our endemic plants. It is a fiber that's very strong. It's used for ropes and it's used for clothes. And it's used for many other things, including anti-erosion, electronic gadgets, etc. Other things that Habi is doing, aside from visiting weaving communities, seeing how we can help them bringing their goods to market, is we have published 3 books about weaving in the Philippines, because in the Philippines, as in India and in Vietnam, we have unique, varied, and colorful indigenous fabrics, things that are very much a part of tradition, very much a part of history, very much a part of identity, which we as a nation and as a people value and want to bring to the next generation. So basically, we are also promoting the planting of cotton, not in plantations, but in backyards, so that our weavers will have a cotton thread that they can afford, because cotton is becoming scarce in the world. I mean, I know India exports cotton, but sometimes they don't have enough for the demand that's necessary, including, the Central Asian countries. Okay, so we're doing that too. And of course, because of the pandemic, we have been doing online. We have a website which I would like to mention here. It's called habitextilecouncil.ph, which you might want to see. We have a directory of vendors and weavers there. And as I said, we have a list of our 3 books that we have published over the years. And we also have participated in the ASEAN Symposia, exchanging ideas with our Southeast Asian neighbors who also have the craft traditions of weaving. Thank you.
Thank you, Maribel. Yes, if I may say that in the Philippines, typhoons are named by the alphabet. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're currently in M this year, huh? M. Yeah.
Thank you for the insight on what's happening in the Philippines. And I would like to welcome Manju from India. We brought Manju from India specifically, outside of Southeast Asia, but still in Asia. And Manju, could you share with us your Handloom Day in India and why is this important?
Thank you, Hilmi. Thank you very much for welcoming me. I'd like to say that the Handloom Day has been celebrated now since the last few years to mark the beginning of the Swadeshi Andolan, which happened in August 7th in 1905. So every year now on the 7th of August, we celebrate the National Handloom Day. This movement encouraged Indians to wear clothes woven by indigenous communities by their hands and denounce foreign-made apparel. So when it was done in 1905, this is what happened. So extending support to artisans and weavers to boost the handmade sector, specifically the production of khadi, handspun, and handwoven is being done. Vocal for local, rebranding of handwoven. We honor the weaving community and highlight the contribution of this sector in the socio-economic development of our country. We reaffirm our resolve to protect our heritage and to empower the weavers by instating pride in their craftsmanship. So this is the reason why the Handloom Day, the National Handloom Day, is now held.
Thank you, Manju. I am quite interested to know the role of World Craft Council in terms of supporting the weaving communities, specifically in Southeast Asia at this current point.
Well, actually, also with World Crafts Council, of course, does it in the 6 regions that we, 5 regions internationally, and World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region does it in the 6 regions that we have in Asia Pacific. And specifically, I will now talk to you about what we do in India at the Crafts Council of India, where we bring lasting awareness of artisans and their crafts. We are engaged in building the lasting awareness through economic, social, cultural, environmental importance that we would like to give to the artisans and their craft. And CCI salutes the great Indian weaver with a special initiative to pull them out of the morass of poverty and destitution caused by this pandemic. Despite unsold stocks and looms falling silent, the weavers create their textiles each day with their own unique resources, and they remain undiminished. So despite the pandemic, we are still going through. with the well-known weaving traditions that we have in India. Some of the things that we need help with are making the traditional weaves more contemporary. We need more accessibility of funds. We need more technology which should penetrate into their working, and we need to give them market intelligence. So all these things which are done at World Crafts Council Asia Pacific, and specifically in South Asia, in a country like India.
Thank you. Thank you for a very insightful information on what you are doing with your weaving communities in India, especially, and also in Asia generally, Asia Pacific. I would like to bring your attention to what type of support other than financial support that you provide to your communities.
Thank you, Mr. Hilmi. Yeah. So FIDR now is supporting the traditional weaving network in the central Vietnam. So our main support is to connect them with the market. So we focus on the PR and the marketing. So we connect the weaving group to the customer. We connect their weaving product to the market. Besides that one, we also support the training so that they can improve the quality of their weaving product. But as you know that FIDR conducted the community development projects, so it's in the multiple sectors, because we think that the life of the people is very complex. So it's very important for us to integrate or to make the synergy through the multiple sectors so that the life of the people can develop in the comprehensive manner. So weaving is just one of the activity, one of the part of their life. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ann. I would like to ask Maribel, do you have any examples of successful partnerships that you have come across in supporting the weaving?
Successful what?
Partnerships. Successful partnerships that you have.
Yes. Okay, yes. What we do is precisely we visit weaving communities. We see what kind of weaving they have, because there are different kinds, and because we become very public about our advocacy, people come to us and ask for, shall we say, information. I need this kind of thing, and we put them directly with the weavers. An example is a businesswoman from New York sent us a message saying she was looking for certain colors of cloth, and would we be able to suggest. So we suggested a weaver somewhere in the north of the Philippines, and immediately they connected, immediately they understood each other, immediately she made orders, and we saw how because of the business and because of the publicity that they got, that their level of income rose to the point that you could see their houses improved, their clothes improved, their children were going to school instead of dropping out. So that's one example. Other examples is in the south, in the Piña country, we had a weaver who had she had a community of 10 looms, maybe 7 looms. When we first visited her, she did very good work. she got new clients through our bazaars. And the next time we came, her one-story house was 2 stories. Her atelier was now more like 20 looms, and people, including young men, were weaving. So that, for me, was an example of new possibilities for the rural economy, which can be translated in a higher standard of living. And I have dozens of those examples. In other words, we like to connect the weaver with the market. Of course, we also try to give financial advice in the sense of pricing, so that they will get the correct prices. They will pay their laborers the correct prices also. So that's it's a kind of education, which is very helpful because the meeting of the minds comes quickly, and the results are, if I may say so, impressive enough, to think that this is a worthwhile task, a worthwhile project.
Thank you, Maribel. To sum up, the 3 panelists' vast experience and involvement in the weaving communities, dear audience, to our panel session today, let us continue to work together to preserve the art of weaving in our culture and the common heritage that we have in this part of the world. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank all my panelists today and hope to see you again. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm wearing this ensemble from Tosang Cotton Village, and I love how this faraway Thai community plays with colors and produces this edgy design. Handwoven textiles dance to a new verve in this next segment of Fashion Collections.
It's like when it is hand woven and you work really, really closely with the community, it's how do I say it? It's something that really can't be created somewhere else, because when this work happens, it's that like not only you benefit from it, but the community benefits from it too.
I hope you're voting for your favorite collection online because I definitely will be. And check out this wonderful, incredible suit that I'm wearing from Color Silk Cambodia. And hey Vanta, I'd really love to visit your mulberry farm and your wonderful weavers up in the Takeo province one day. I know for sure that there is no doubt that a suit like this is the product of Color Silk's countless experimentations, what they do with natural dyes and weaving techniques. So of course, it is important to talk about innovation when it comes to traditional hand weaves. Many questions come to mind. How do we innovate? Where do we go to get resources? Can we continue to practice sustainability if we change the way that we work? Check out what our communities and experts have to say about this in our next segment.
Abaca has been with us grown in the Philippines for more than several centuries, almost since the 1500s, I heard. It was there during the Spanish regime, or the Spanish time, and even further beyond that. It was used as fiber for making rope, and quite a lowly fiber because it was also used for slippers, bags, and other things that involved some crafts. But eventually, after several years, we realized we can also use it for fabric. My weavers and I, we were able to come up with something that could be used for high fashion wear. I mean, haute couture. So we have really raised the bar in terms of what we can do with the fabric.
The new idea for the traditional clothes is the combination of a variety of color from natural dye mixed with traditional motif, and also the combination of the new fiber, the mixed fiber.
I'm Edric Ong. I'm the moderator for this panel discussion on the topic of innovation in handwoven textiles. To introduce myself, I'm president of APADA, the ASEAN Handicraft Promotion and Development Association, as well as the immediate past president of Society Atelier Sarawak, advisor and honorary member of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region, honorary member of World Crafts Council. I am a designer, a curator, and author. This evening, I'm very pleased to have three very distinguished panelists with us to discuss on this particular topic. First of all, we have Eric Halim, Director of Marketing from PT Lakumas from Indonesia.
Thank you.
Then we have Dr. Siti Chais Manchat, Vice President of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region for Southeast Asia, but also an Achan, or a professor at Ubon Ratchathani University in Thailand. And of course, we have Ms. Celia Ilumba, who is Director of the Philippine Textile Research Institute, or known as PTRI. So tonight in our short panel discussion, we will talk about the innovative use and the promotion of eco-friendly textiles through fibers, whether they are natural or man-made, natural dyes, and their impact on weaving communities. So let me first introduce our first panel speaker, Eric. Eric Halim has focused on supporting the development of Indonesian traditional textiles since 2018. Eric has brought PT Lakumas products to thousands of weavers within the region and abroad. Lakumas produces in collaboration with Lensing, Chandimas Tencel, sustainable yarn made from certified eucalyptus fibers. Good evening, Eric.
Good evening, Edric. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Would you like to briefly introduce Tencel? Why is it considered eco-friendly? Why is it also a good alternative to a natural fiber, say like cotton? And who is currently using Tencel among the ASEAN weavers? Can you also tell us a little bit about what your hopes are for the future of Tencel, and what has been the international response to Tencel fiber so far by weavers as well as by customers worldwide?
Okay, thank you very much, Edric, for introducing me. Let me explain a little bit about Tencel. We produce yarn we name it as Chandimas Tencel. It is made of lensing lyocell fibers, which has been produced by eco-friendly technology from wood pulp, which is sourced from sustainable forest certified by FSC or PEFC. It has the advantage of being soft and lustrous. Unlike protein-based yarn, which tends to insulate heat and moisture, Chandimas Tencel regulates moisture, and it is the perfect material for warm and humid climate like Southeast Asia. It has excellent dye uptake, and it absorbs natural dye very well, even better than cotton. This is the example of natural dye batik from East Java. Tencel fiber itself is very versatile. It can be blended with other synthetics or natural fibers. In fact, we collaborate with silk farmers based in East Java to produce Tencel silk blended yarn to be woven by hand and processed into beautiful batik pieces like the one behind me. Chandimas Tencel has been used by thousands of weavers within the region, from Sumatra Songket, Batik Pekalongan, Ikat Sarong, and to Tenun Ikat in East Nusa Tenggara. Also, Mr. Edric has experimented with Tencel before in Rumagari, and I heard he's quite fond of it. I think Tencel has a great future. It is the future fiber itself. Unlike commercial cotton, the plantation of forests, which Tencel is sourced from, it doesn't compete with crop farmland. It does not consume irrigation water, and research also shown that producing Tencel yarn consume less than 1,000 liters of water compared to cotton, which takes up 10 times as much. And we have been pleased with Songket manufacturer to Ikat and even Balinese weavers and Nusa Tenggara weavers. I think Tencel has a great future. Also, we continue promoting Tencel to be used within the region to Malaysia, especially with Tenun Ikat. And also in 2019, I had the pleasure to meet with Her Majesty, and he is currently experimenting with Tencel for Tenun in Malaysia. So we have a great future with Tencel, and it has been used not just by traditional textile, but we take pride to be the first one to be the pioneer of introducing Tencel in traditional textile, from Songket, Batik to Tenun Ikat. I think that's all for me, so I appreciate for the time given to me. Thank you very much, Edric.
Thank you very much, Eric. Yes, indeed. It's exciting to know that this new fiber has been innovated and is currently also being introduced to various communities within our ASEAN regions. So I'm sure that those who are participating in our Tenun Fashion Week will be excited to know how to use Tencel fiber. Thank you very much, Eric.
You're welcome.
May I now introduce our next panel speaker, Dr. Sitichai Manchat. He is also an executive board member of the Thai Handicraft Promotion Trade Association, or known as THTA, associate professor at Ubon Ratchathani University, Thailand, but I've known him for many years, since the days that he was editor of the Silk magazine in Thailand, the only silk magazine I know which is exclusive to promoting silk textiles and silk, Thai silk in fashion. Dr. Siti Chai is also the author of several books on textiles and has done tremendous research, especially between Indian textiles, Thai textiles, and Japanese textiles. Dr. Siti Chai, welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Siti Chai, you know, Thai silk is already an international brand. When you talk about Thai silk, many people in the international fashion or interior business, interior decorators, they know about Thai silk. Can you tell us a little bit about what is the latest trend in Thai silk weaving? And what is the current domestic market for Thai silk and its innovation in its kind of textile weaving, whether in its silk yarn or whether in its artistic expression? Dr. Siti Chai.
Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to, because is the question is quite complex. Let me share with you in detail. First of all, internationally, they know Thai silk as the smooth as silk. It's just the plain one. And today, very happy to share with you for development of Thai silk. On the slide, you can see that Thai silk generally, traditionally, they prefer the very fine one, very smooth one. But recently, the development of decorative item, they prefer the texture, surface texture, and various kind of yarn. And also we have a research to combining various yarn together. On the screen of my presentation, I would like to share with you work of the oldest one is Batik that developed the elast design for ikat. That traditionally is just a small one and repeat the pattern. Later, after that, Associate Professor Papakon Sukontamani, she also developed in combination of the plant fiber as a wall hanging. And the ikat is transferred for a kind of painted the warp yarn into the pattern. And just the last one, Dr. Supavini also have a research, or Dr. Fon, she researched on iris seals, that the fabric generally you can see is a square form. It's already transferred to the free form. This is a new experiment in Thailand. And not only that, for the fiber, we have researched the new material line from the sugar cane to get the cellulose and try to develop that, because in Thailand, sugar cane is we have a lot of the problem of they burning the sugar cane field to get the sugar. So we try to make use and to make profit from the all material in the process of sugar cane. And I'm very happy to share with you that recently the development of the fiber and Thai silk looked after by the Thailand Textile Institute THTI. On the slide you can see the sugarcane yarn project is under THTI, and THTI have MOU with CFTA for the promoting the fiber for the craft as well. And I think we also welcome to work in cooperation with another country. Like in Indonesia, if you have a new yarn, would like to cooperate a kind of experiment further to get the new feature or the new texture of the fabric, we also can cooperate together. I'm very happy to organize and cooperate with all of you. And thank a lot for give a chance for Thailand to sharing the last stage development of Thai silk and Thai textile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chai. As we fondly know you, Dr. Chai. Dr. Siti Chai Manchat from Thailand. It's wonderful to hear about what the market trend is for smooth silk, and the younger generation now experimenting with textures and combining silk with other fibers. It's exciting, Dr. Siti Chai, that with sugarcane also you are launching into a new innovative fiber. And I'm sure that our other panelists here, like Eric and Celia Ilumba from Philippines, would be very happy to collaborate with you on further development of expressions with Thai silk. Thank you very much. May I now welcome Dr. Celia Ilumba. Celia is the director of the Philippine Textile Research Institute, and she has spearheaded the direction of PTRI in the onward development of natural dyes in Philippines and the research in the natural fibers traditionally used by weavers in Philippines, and also now into their innovative use and better production, if you like, better ways of producing the yarn in the Philippines.
Thank you very much, Edric, for that wonderful introduction.
Yeah, Philippines is renowned for its plant fiber textiles. For example, piña, abaca, rami, etc. But what is the latest development up your sleeves or up the sleeves of PTRI? And how sustainable is this industry? And what do you see is the foreseeable future of these plant fibers in woven Philippine expression and in fashion?
Thank you, Edric. There's quite a lot to say about that. We're very excited about the developments that we have in our country. Like you mentioned, we are known for our piña, and along with that, piña seda as well. These are really traditional textiles, artisanal, which come from the red Spanish, for example, in the case of piña. This is a very special plant, which is really grown for the leaves, not for the fruit. And the abaca, of course, is endemic to the country. But we have realized that there is so much more that we can do. For example, banana, the culm of the banana. We also used to use this for traditional purposes in a fabric called husi way back in pre-Spanish days. In this context, you realize that this becomes very special because one, it takes much longer to produce them. It is 100% completely handmade. And so you extract it, you process it, you beat it up, you prepare it, you flatten it, and make it ready for handloom weavers. That process takes a long time. So your capacity to produce them is also not as much. And it is used for special occasions. So what we would like to see happen is that instead of manually extracting, hand knotting, and preparing, we'd like to be able to offer materials that can be used by more people and produce for more of us to wear, more Filipinos. We're over 100 million in the Philippines, Edric, so we'd love to be able to wear this on a more daily basis, mainstream fashion, so to speak. And so we have advocated the use of natural textile fiber sources. We will use the term NTF, natural textile fibers. This would be abaca, banana, bandala, which is a cross between the abaca and a wild banana, as well as bamboo, pineapple leaf, just to name some. These are blended with cotton, and I'm very happy to hear Eric actually speak about the lyocell, because we're also mixing this natural textile fibers with lyocell coming from Lenzing. And we would like to propose this as spun yarns for mainstream fashion. And we have the technology as well as the methodology to do this. You know, for every 1 gram of cotton that we replace, so let's say we have a 70% cotton and 30% pineapple leaf versus 100% cotton, you know, we save as much in water consumption as was mentioned earlier. So if we have this 70-30 combination, we save 30% water utilization for that purpose. So NTFs mean that we can use the byproduct of the plantation or fruiting pineapple, the Hawaiian and the Formosa varieties, to name some, and not the special red Spanish. It will always have a place in the hearts of the Filipinos as well as of the others around the world who love them. But if we want to clothe more Filipinos, we have to use yarns that are spun, not hand knotted, for the use of handloom weavers. This will take care of the capacity and the raw material shifts from petrochemical byproducts to agricultural byproducts, as in the case of banana, and pineapple leaf. This will render the material to become biodegradable, climate positive, and planet friendly in that respect. So the foreseeable future, you know, in the expression of the Tela Pilipinas model, which is textiles empowering lives anew, we were able to establish the first regional yarn production and innovation center, or the RIPIC, in the municipality of Miagao in the province of Iloilo, which is in the Western Visayas. A second one will be established in Northern Luzon within 2022. We are in the process of working with handloom weavers and other crafters to teach them how to use the yarns, since most have been used to working with synthetics. So we have proposed the establishment of a number of RIPICs in various regions of our country. This will be supported by 10 NTFs and 10 bamboo textile fiber innovation hubs. If we're able, this will connect the supply chain with the handloom weavers and natural dye production hubs to provide a robust ecosystem, which will provide value addition at the local level.
Thank you. Thank you. That is very exciting to hear, Celia. You know, it is a very short panel discussion, but we do hope that this will continue to be a bigger symposium of some kind in the near future, with the support of Maybank Women Eco Weavers and APADA, the ASEAN Handicraft Promotion and Development Association, working jointly with all stakeholders within the ASEAN region. So thank you all very much for listening in to us, and we hope that you will enjoy the fashion shows of our community weavers that's coming up. Good night.
Check out this outfit made by the Longhouse Weavers of Rumah Gare in Malaysia, and it's designed by Edric Ong, hand-woven using Chandimas tencel yarns. It is so wonderful to see these efforts being put into making more sustainable fibers. These next series of fashion videos really tugs at my heartstrings. And not only do these ladies work for their fabric, they are also the spokeswomen for their causes. And they became their own models in their own fashion videos. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It's so fun to watch, so please enjoy these videos.
Blatangan bau, rogan bolon, wagon napu. Wadi
Most of the handwoven products is really segmented, I think, and I think in this modern day we should mix it or should collaborate it with nowadays situation, like make it a more modern product or make it more everyday fashion that you can wear it every day. Because what I see is most of handwoven product is we can only use it only on special occasion. That's why we make it timeless, and then you cannot wear it every day, but it's handwoven or it's natural dye, okay? And you proud wear it.
So I grew up around textiles. My mother was a weaver and she is from Laos. And so I began my graduate studies learning about the textiles of Laos and neighboring countries. And I found that, it's an outlet for women's creativity. It's a social mechanism, women weave together. And also it's a way that women can, earn an income and, earn some independence these days.
We have now come to the end of the first day of TENUN Fashion Week, brought to you by Apada and Tanoti, with thanks to our sponsors, Maybank Foundation and the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Sarawak. I hope you love every bit of it just as much as I did, and I hope you also voted for your favorites. So please do tune in tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, terima kasih, salamat, kapkunka, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a sneak peek of what we'll be seeing tomorrow.